Okay, so for Earth energies, I pulled the first row, which was kind of what I felt the Earth energies were dealing with, and just advice for the Earth energies themselves: Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus. And the bottom row, I asked for, like, I guess advice, like, for things outside of the earth energies that like they may come in contact with or may have to deal with, and so just I guess like outside energies affecting the earth signs, I want to say, or earth placements in general. So for the first row, I got the Ace of Cups here, and they're reversed. Which definitely makes me feel like there was like an opportunity that was lost, or maybe there was a offer given that was not taken, perhaps like in a job setting or in love. I mean, cups is generally like love, but this could be something that you were also like attached to, and sometimes you can be attached to a job, especially like if there is some like emotional tied to it, like if you care for people, or if you just even if you don't care for people like in the natural like healthcare setting or like care setting, but I mean like when you care about the people that you work with, you know, just in general. And that may have been hard to do, was to turn down an opportunity or a position or offer from this person or this entity or this group of people. Definitely something not being taken. When I look at this card, like even when it is in the reverse here, as you can see, this face or this like mask or whatever you want to say is upside down, but this one is up right side up, even in the reverse. So I want to say that it makes me feel like, depending on how you look at things, you know, I think, and that's in anything really, depending on how you look at things, things can definitely look one way or another. So I mean, it may look one way to them and look one way to you. You know, you wanting to move on may be hurtful to them, or you not wanting to continue, or you not wanting to take their offer may be hurtful to them, but it may be right for you because you see it in a different light. The next card that I got was the Hierophant. Which makes me feel like there was like things that needed to be like put in order or put back in place, or like a hard boundary that needed to be set. Maybe it was with this previous person or entity or job that you left or did not take the offer from, and maybe that's the boundary, is like just saying no. And that kind of puts things back into place, I want to say. Like, not like you put them in their place per se, but like it makes you both have to like reevaluate. Like there's definitely like an order and a boundary that needs to be respected, and maybe they weren't aware of it, and maybe you aren't even, like, you may have thought you were aware of it in certain ways, but not as much as you are now that like you are establishing that boundary, if that makes any sense. just looking at this little like ball of fire that the Hierophant's looking at right here. It's usually like tradition. The card usually means like tradition and yeah, I don't know why that little ball of fire is. I don't know, but it is giving me a sense of you needing to remind yourself, but maybe also others, that you do have the power to not only say no, but to make your own decisions, to have your own path, to follow your own traditions, create your own traditions, and not taking this offer, as I spoke of before, is maybe the start of that. Okay, so the next card that I got was the Knight of Cups here. And for me, in this particular deck, this Knight to me means like a quick message. Not like a Page of Cups quick message, but like a tempestuous message. I don't know how to describe it. Like, because the lighting sucks right here. Can't really see, but there's just like a look about him that I get. So there may be some type of temptation for you to either go back to this offer that you've turned down from either a job or a person or whatever the case may be. Take it how it applies in your life. Whether that be through money or through love or seduction or something that, I mean, for it to tempt us, it has to be somewhat desirable to us. So there's something about it that is desirable. But I think here may have to stick with that Hierophant that we got prior to the Knight of Cups, and just sticking to that discipline. Oh, that's the word that I was looking for. Sticking to that discipline, that self-discipline, and showing others that you not only can you have that self-discipline, but you that applies to the boundaries that you've set towards them, and that you can also discipline yourself with those boundaries so that they are unable to cross them. But anyways, coming back to the Knight of Cups, yeah, I'm sensing like a temptation to either fall back into an old cycle, an old way. There might be an old, like an offer that brings you back into that like energy, like either from a person that brings you back into like somebody from your past, or like, or like I said, like an old job, or somebody from your old job, or even like, let's say you want to pursue different things, but there's always like something or someone from that old part of your life, or the part of your life that you're comfortable with, I want to say, that kind of keeps you around. Like, you know, like you want to leave a job, but there's like one person or a few people that you like working with or something. So you kind of stay around and you get like complacent in that. So you never kind of like move on, because there's never really like a reason to like move on, I want to say. And like as you've stepped out into like the Hierophant phase and kind of like, no, I'm going to do this, I'm going to discipline myself, I'm going to do this, you know. And you've turned down those offers to continue in the ways that you've been continuing before. You need to, you know, really be diligent in not taking those tempting offers to go right back to the things that you're like trying to walk away from, whether they're like people, like I said, whether they're a job, whether there's the cycles in your life or habits that you're trying to break. So I don't know, for me this card really just is like talking about temptation for me in this particular reading with this deck. So for the outside energy, I got Six of Pentacles in reverse. And in this deck, it's like a bunch of coins. Well, I wouldn't say a bunch, but it's 6, and then there's coins that kind of faded, like in the background. And I mean, I feel like the obvious for the depiction here is like a loss of money, especially with it being in reverse, or like a lack thereof, or either they are sparse on their money or you are scared of being tight on your money, and that could be affecting some decisions. It could be, I mean, because that's outside energy too, you know, like feeling like you're not in control of certain things, feeling like you're not in control of your finances, especially if you do like freelance work, or if you're starting to do like freelance work, or trying to start your own business, or trying to, you know what I mean. Or maybe there's somebody around you, or like I said earlier with this offer that you have turned down, if it was a job, there's a risk of loss of finances that come with that, and they are like right on top of each other here. Like, if, you know, when I move the camera later, you'll see that this cup is upside down, and these are right under it, like so. That could definitely be connected there, and that could also be a risk of the temptation here, like going back. Sure, well, you know, get you the you know, money or whatever you want to say that you want, but like there's not really like, you walked away for a reason, right? Because either you weren't happy, or it wasn't worth it, and maybe the money or the situation wasn't worth it before. So there's really like, the gain doesn't outweigh like the loss, I want to say. Like, this doesn't give you as much as you give it. The next card I got for outside energy, or people and or energy outside of you affecting you, was the Knight of Swords in the reverse. Which gave me the sense of like confusion, and either other people are confusing you with inconsistency, or inconsistent words, or inconsistent like actions and words aren't matching up, or they're distancing themselves, or you yourself may be coming off as confusing to others. by being absent, by being distant, by being aloof. Yeah, I just feel like, and this particularly, like she's, it's a woman, it's not a man. Can't really see, I guess that's true. May not be able to tell it's a woman, but she looks like a woman to me. Her hair is long. Like I said, the lighting, I'll work on it. But she has armor on, and so does the Knight of Cups in the upright, in the first row. But this is like a different type of armor. I don't know if it's just because she is a woman or what the case may be. But yeah, it's like there's like a defense up. Like, and that may be to avoid what we have here, the next card, the Five of Wands, like a conflict. Maybe to avoid like some type of like aggression. There may be someone who may even be distancing themselves from you because of like either the lack of money they have, or maybe there's like a difference in like money that they feel like there's a difference in money that you both make, and if they're not okay with that, or they feel like there's a discussion about finances that may come up that may not go well, or I'm hearing like someone is too in their head about like why certain things have happened, whether there's a loss of finances or the loss of opportunity, and that could affect you in a way because it could bring conflict to your door. Like, not literally, but like you could end up in a situation that is aggressive, that you may not have like ignited, but you like, I don't know, like that there's some type of like resentment like that you don't seem aware of here, and that's going to affect you eventually when it's like when it's not being held in anymore. I don't see when it's like coming out here, but let me see if I can get a clarifying. You get some advice for Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, about this outside energy, this possible conflict, this resentment. Are those little snakes behind him? Those little staffs or wands, right? Maybe there's yeah, like I'm picking up like resentment you don't know about, like maybe like, and those that have never looked like snakes to me before until like now, but like as I'm looking and then I look far away, like I don't know, but maybe there's people around you that you're not even sure of, and maybe like you like intuitively know you're not sure of them, but you don't have the evidence until this comes up, or like they admit there was, or maybe they don't even admit there, maybe it's like on accident, like they show their true colors or something. Can I get some clarification? No advice here, huh? The moon. See? Didn't I just say? So yeah, something's definitely like not being shown to you. Something's definitely not being, oh, here we go. 9 of Wands in the reverse. Somebody's not being upfront about it. Somebody's not being like, it's very like secretive. And I don't want to say like vengeful, because like what 9 of Wands in the upright is usually like independence at the end of the road. But here I'm definitely like feeling resistance and resentment and like a lack of wanting to let go and move on. Yeah, there's something that's not being revealed. Just getting the moon card here just after analyzing that whole second row and getting that kind of definitely confirmed that for me. Let's see if there's anything else that comes to me here. If there's any other cards that pop out for advice here for Earth signs, Capricorn. Oh, Ace of Wands. It's funny that the Ace of Wands comes out here after the 9 of Wands in reverse here. Feeling to me as though maybe after this push through, maybe after if whoever or whatever can reveal themselves or the true intentions can be known, the new opportunities can be had, and new ideas and projects and cycles can be started here. But until this resentment is worked through and like talked through in a productive manner, I don't think that the Ace of Wands can happen per se. The 9 of Wands in the reverse here, which is like a dragon, it's called Draco here in the Celestial Tarot deck, is like spitting out fire. And in this deck, if I remember correctly, is a monster that one of the gods has to fight or like get through in order to get to wherever he's going. So it's like a test, I want to say. So there may be an obstacle that needs to be, and maybe it doesn't even seem like an obstacle, like I said with the moon here. Like I said, you don't know that this person or this thing has resentment. Maybe this job is upset that you left. Maybe this person is upset that you didn't take their offer for either a job, a romantic offer, any type of offer. A family member wants you to do something for anything, really. And there could be like an argument or, like I said, resentment that is not being expressed, that's being hidden. that's not being revealed here, as I said, in getting the moon card. And until whatever that is either expressed, talked about, acknowledged, admitted, this Ace of Wands, I feel like, is almost on hold. Like, because without this, it's almost like there's not enough clarity to, like, get this. Like, there's that final push through, like, the Nine of Wands is, like, that almost, like, boom, you're almost there. Like, 10 is, like, broken. 9 is, like, boom, we're almost there. But in the reverse, like I said, I feel like there's resistance. And maybe it's coming from you, maybe it's coming from them. But either way, I don't think you know where it's coming from with the moon card here, like, because it's not being revealed to you. So perhaps there could be some type of, like, faith that you need to have in either, like, the outside energies that you don't have control of, the universe itself, and I guess that goes hand in hand, in order to open this Ace of Wands, like, opportunity for you. I mean, perhaps the test is just not allowing outside energy to have so much of an effect on you, your mind, and getting you into conflicts with others. Like I said, take it how it resonates. Lessons are different for everyone. And it could not even be a lesson, like I said. It could just be something that, like an eye-opener for, like, yourself, you know what I mean? Like, something is revealed to you about yourself, not like something somebody else reveals to you, or that you find out through someone else. Or maybe, the Five of Wands could also represent, like, an inner conflict that you have with yourself. Maybe you're conflicted about turning down this opportunity or this person or this offer, however it may be. And you don't realize until you go through this Nine of Wands, like, resistant moment. Noticing where you play the resistance in your own decisions. And what am I trying to hear? And your resistance in moving forward, I want to say as well, because there are times where it's good to be resistant, and there are times where it's not. Like, if your plan is to leave your new job or your old job to pursue a new job, then you need to stick to that, and it's good to be resistant and not going back to things that are going to keep you in that old career. But it's not good to be resistant towards trying new things that are going to allow you to move into that new job that you left your old job to pursue, if that makes sense. So, like I said, take it as it applies to your life and how you feel as though it resonates with you. And if it does resonate at all, it may not. This is just the energy that I picked up on and that I meditated on. I forgot to say at the beginning of the video, when I meditated on the earth signs energies, I heard the word regrounding, shaky ground, steady footing, new terrain, chameleon, being adaptable, and recharge were like the things and like kind of just the images that came to mind. And I just got the feeling as though like you could be walking through new terrain and that could be shaky, or not because like it's not stable, but just because you don't know the next moves because you've never been on this terrain before. But being adaptable, and I think that's where the chameleon comes in, because it can change to adapt to its environment, is going to be essential here to get to where you want to go. And regrounding yourself also is going to be essential to getting through that shaky ground, because whenever you're grounded and calm in any situation and you can pause, you are better able to adapt and have the ability to think of more, what do I want to say, options or different decisions for how you want to either react to things or go through with things, or et cetera, et cetera. And I think that this new path that you're trying to get to, like whatever you've left behind and you're going to, even though it is a new terrain and it's shaky and you don't know how to go on it, it is going to create like a sense of a recharge for you within the process itself that you may not even realize, and maybe that's also what the moon stands for here. So I don't want to say all will be revealed because it doesn't like look like that, but I mean, I think everything in time, when you can look back, you see why certain things happen. And there, of course there'll be a point in time, it usually happens, so I don't want to say always happens, but let me just see here if there's any oracle cards advice to tie up this reading here for Earth signs Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Any advice for my Earth signs Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo? Oh, there's one more thing I didn't even see. Seven of Swords. I didn't even see this earlier. Must have fell earlier. I don't know when. Definitely cannot see this. But there is a raven here stealing the moon. And there are swords being stabbed into the moon. And the Seven of Swords is usually like the sea card in traditional tarot. And I do think that goes along perfectly with like what I was saying in general, was that like something's not being shown, told to you. Oh, I did see that in my, God, that's so crazy. I didn't even write that down, but I do remember as that card comes out. In my meditation, I saw like almost like the devil card, and not like in like any of the decks that I have. Like in this deck, the Archeon Tarot deck, it is like kind of like a red dark figure, but he's like bigger, and it is kind of dark, and it was like kind of reminiscent of that, but it was like almost like an older like devil, like I don't even know what he's called, but I know he had like a red face, he had like a mustache, and he was like going through like a door and like looking back like deviously, like as if he was getting away with something. And I think that's why this card reminded me here of that, is because like in the Seven of Swords, he's like getting away with something. It says that the raven is like running away with the sun, and so perhaps someone feels as though they're getting away with someone or something. Someone feels as though they're getting away with something, whether it's through this argument with you, through this, because they, could be taking your peace or taking what they feel as though, like, your opportunities, perhaps. Like I said, if it's job opportunities or if it's an old job. Like, but I definitely get the strong feeling of, like, there being resentment, something not being told to you, something not being shown. An attempt to, like, take something, and that could not, I definitely don't get the sense of, like, physical, but I get the sense of, like an idea almost, like, or like a mental, like, well-being, like a, like, almost like a manipulation, or like just with the swords being in the moon here, like somebody, like, it gives me the sense of, like, somebody poking holes in your story, and I mean that in, like, get my celestial light wand here to help me kind of channel these messages. I say that in the sense of, like, somebody, like, poking holes in, like, your theories or your ideas or your beliefs or your dreams or your objectives or your motivations, or, like, somebody, like, I don't mean poking fun, but as in, like, if you, like I said earlier, if you left your old job to start a new job, or to pursue starting your own business, or new relationship, whatever, and there's someone or something that's, like, telling you, oh, that's not a good idea, or oh, you shouldn't do that, or oh, you shouldn't go back to school because you're not going to make money for that, or oh, you shouldn't do, this, that, or the third. That's somebody poking holes in, like, what you believe you need to be doing next, or, just kind of planting seeds of, like, I don't want to say deception, but just, it's not motivating. And not that you need to be around people that are always going to agree with you, but you need to be around people that are always going to support you. And so that could be stealing your light, in a sense, as stealing the sun here. It could be taking away from your light and your ideas and your ability to contribute. And there could be, that also goes with the Knight of Cups up there in the first row. When I talked about getting a sense of temptation from that card, people tempting you with the ideas of, like, this could be better, or you should do this, or you should, you know what I mean, and, that ties into the Seven of Swords here, with somebody telling you that either your ideas or the new path that you're trying to take is not the one that you need to be taking. And I think only you can know, because it's not clear here, like I said with the moon, it's not clear here, that either A, that they're doing it, or that what the path is exactly that you need to be taking, either, or both. Okay. So anyways, back to what I was doing. Okay, so I got laughter before I found that other card. So I think definitely taking time to sit back and find humor in even, I think, the frustrating moments is going to be helpful in keeping things light when there is this sense of confusion here. Because, like I said, there's an underlying energy either coming from somebody else or just an outside energy, period. Could be just like energy itself, doesn't have to be a person. That suggests there's something you're not aware of. So making light of things and keeping yourself light, and maybe even like watching funny movies, or just ensuring that you're surrounding yourself with things that are uplifting is going to be very helpful. Be honest with yourself. The next one that came out here. I think also being honest with yourself and what you need, and trying to get your mind clear in what you want and should be doing, and drowning out the seeds planted by other people that say, oh, you shouldn't do this, or oh, you should do that, or blah, 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 blah. And figuring out what you want to do is going to be very beneficial. I think disappointing people comes hand in hand, I guess, with being honest with yourself, because sometimes when you're honest with yourself, you figure out that you don't want certain things, and certain people are attached to those things, and they want you to stay in certain places, and you have to be okay with seeing whether they will love you in a different space, because I think anyone who really loves you is willing to like change with you or give you space to grow. Or you shouldn't have to be in a certain space or a certain scenario for somebody to still like want to connect with you. Yeah, you need to be in that space in general to like meet them and connect with them like initially, but like if you really want to keep up with somebody, you'll keep up with somebody. You shouldn't like have to like work with them, or you shouldn't have to like, you know, be, you know what I'm saying. So I think being honest with yourself about who and what are superficial in your life and what really matters will help you remain clear, at least with yourself, when other things and other outside energies are not being clear with you, and also help you remain hopeful, and help you keep faith in yourself as uncertainties arise. Let's see if anything comes out here. Anything else? Any other messages for Earth signs? Honoring your true feelings. I think that goes along with what I was like basically just saying. Being honest with yourself and honoring your feelings are a little bit different in a sense, because honoring your true feelings is like not only acknowledging them, but sitting with them and like processing them, and not just like, because you can acknowledge, be like, wow, I'm sad right now, and then like try to move on and distract yourself, but you could be like, wow, I'm really sad right now, and like allow yourself to like be sad in that moment and process those feelings, and like give yourself self-compassion in that moment and say like, wow, this is a tough feeling right now. We all go through tough feelings. I will try to give myself compassion in this moment and understand that this is hard for me to feel right now, and then also explore why I'm feeling this way, and why maybe there's like some trauma, or there's something from my past that has allowed me to feel this way now, or perceive things this way now. So definitely it sounds like some self-care here will be essential. That's what the fairies are saying, at least. I think we all kind of like know that, but we all need a reminder. Awakening your true self. In this fairy oracle deck, this card generally means that you're like it says, wakening up to your true self, that you are recognizing and becoming aware of certain parts of you that are more true to your authentic self rather than your conditioned state of being, the things that people have conditioned you to feel or think, the way we have been conditioned growing up through our beliefs and etc. And I think taking the quiet time and making it to this new opportunity, the Ace of Wands, is almost like an awakening experience itself. And so trusting that this experience, as vague as it may be, is almost like a blessing in disguise. And it is a stepping stone to awakening to, or even finding, I want to say, that your true self, and help you get closer to feeling more at peace and not feeling so drained at the end of each day, and feeling like, I feel like there's all days when we have where we're like, does my life have purpose? And I think through this process, or this journey we spoke of, that we see through the cards here, that more awakening is found through this. By having faith, by honoring your true feelings, being light with yourself, and in moments that are out of your control, through laughter, and not letting outside forces dictate perceptions of possible outcomes of the future. So I think that is what I get for you, Earth signs. I would definitely say be careful of outside energies pulling you back into old ways of being or old cycles that you were trying to walk away from, and trust the process, and there are things being learned in this process that you do not see now, and self-compassion will be key. Through times of confusion, temptation, and uncertainty. All right.